Hey everybody, it's Pam with Silver and Sparkles, and I am going to do a scrap buster for us today. Aren't these the cutest? So these are inspired by Melina, Me Crafty Scrapper. I will link her YouTube channel in the description. She does a scrap buster, an MS scrap buster, and there's like, I don't know, like 150 of them out there. And I think she used to do them a little more regularly, and now sporadically, but she has lots of great tutorials, and so does her mom. So anyway, if you, I'm sure you guys know of them, but if not, I'll link it for you. And she did this one maybe a month or so ago and said, you know, just use what you've got, tear it up, and use it. And I watched it. And I don't even know if this is how she did hers, but the little torn layers, definitely, I was inspired by that one. So I wanted to make some and show you guys use some of my scraps. So you don't have to make them tag shaped, but that's what I'm doing with mine. You could just do a rectangle. You could do it landscape and have these little ruffles, and then put a pocket on your journal page. So many ideas. But the way I'm putting my little ruffles in is it is leaving me all these little tiny tuck spots that, you know, look, there's even a little butterfly up here, that you can use. Or you can just it looks beautiful, you know, even without all these little pieces in there. I put a mushroom, I glued that one down, but this would just be a lovely tag. And you can maybe do just this says love life, you know, you could just put that right there and it could be a tag. So lots of options, and I hope you'll watch me make one and it will inspire you to maybe grab your scraps and make something fun. Okay, that's good enough. All right, so I am making mine just on some book page that I had here on my desk, but it's nice and sturdy. Not very thick, but that's okay because I'm going to do lots of, you know, the layers on there. This one, make yours any size you want, but for reference, this one is 2 7/8 by 5 1/4. I just tore some paper, so. And I'm going to I think I'll have the back have a little more of the text. And you can, of course, if you want to back them with something or make these on a nice cardstock or a pretty paper for the back, go for it. So all I'm going to do is tear paper strips, and I just need to make sure that the piece that I tear is as wide or wider than the tag that I'm making. So I'm just going to start tearing some pieces in a variety of my scraps. I just grabbed a little pile here from things I've been working on my desk lately. And you can have them be different widths or heights. I don't know. Mine right now are looking all about the same. Let's try to tear one that is maybe a little skinnier. And when you've got a two-sided piece, you can decide, you know, which side you want. Do you want the pop of color? I just love that pattern, so it's hard for me not to use that. Okay, let's do this one and get a little bit chunkier. So this is honestly, I just sit here and just kind of tear and get a little pile going. And then I think I can use this one. I already have it. It'll just be a nice skinny one, and that edge will get covered up. Let's see. Ooh, that is just wide enough. So let's get a piece of this one. And then depending on how you install them, you can make the widths look a little different. And let's get a piece of this. I was looking for something that maybe had a little more color to it. I seemed to have grabbed quite a few neutrals. Here's a purple. Oh, and the dogs are barking. Okay, so again, no magic here. Just tearing paper and having fun. If you I ended up, I don't know, I think these colors are really pretty together. All right, now I do go ahead and just ink the torn edge of each strip, and you can sit here and lay them all out and make sure you like how they are, or you can be like me and live on the edge and just start gluing them down. So I totally get the plan it out, and that is fine. That one already has ink. There are plenty of times that I definitely lay everything out and plan it, but when I'm doing a scrap buster, and you know, you can do this like as a mass make, I just go for it. Now, the other thing is this first top piece, it doesn't even need to have a torn edge. It just needs a strip across the top. So I'm going to, I'd like to have some of this pink, I think. Just chop this one down a little bit and glue it across the top. And then I'll put my first torn piece. I'm gonna make it a little bit more narrow. I kind of want to see that pink right at the top of my tag. So this is going to be the top. Okay. Now, let me get my glue. This piece I am going to just glue down. So I'm just going to lay some glue on the book page that is going to become my tag, and I'm going to glue it down. Now, I do make a little bit of a mess. I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap paper that I have here. You could use parchment paper would be great. You can use an old magazine, whatever. I just happen to have this because it does get a little messy. So if you don't like getting your fingers messy and things like that, this might not be the best project for you. But okay, let's do this one next. And because I don't try to cut every piece to be the exact width, you could cut it first and then it would probably be easier to glue down, because I just kind of get some on there. I do some along the bottom. I know my piece is wider than my tag, so this is where I'm saying it can get a little messy, and you want to make sure you're not gluing it to your paper, and that's why I put it down so I don't get glue all over my map. Now, by gluing it that way, that leaves this one open. So every layer now as we go, I'm going to do like that. And I kind of look at my paper and decide, do I have, you know, I kind of like the edge of this one, so I'm going to bring it kind of right to the edge. All right. And later, when we go to trim all of this off, if you realize you didn't get quite enough glue, you can just add a little more. It's not hard. All right, let's put this sheet music on. And I try to put the glue on the back of the piece I'm gluing down so that I get the maximum amount of, you know, tuck space, because these are really little tiny, tiny tucks. And if I do it the other way, I think I'd make them even more shallow, perhaps. Okay, I've got quite a few greens, so let's bring this one in. Pretty. And you just, oh, this was printed on the other side too. You just, you know, you just keep going. And I just love this look. I have done a project also inspired by Melina that where the little, I don't know if y'all remember it or saw it, the little doll, or she did it, okay, she did it as a ruffled kind of tag and really did the edges up and made them ruffly. And then I took that idea and put it on the big skirt dresses of like Victorian ladies. That was fun. Again, just tons of strips of papers. Just trying to see what I have left. And I just thought those were just darling. So it is fun to watch other YouTube channels and get fun inspiration and then kind of make it your own. And again, like I said, I watched, I love her scrapbusters, and I watched it weeks ago and then thought, oh, I haven't done that. I want to make one. So now I'll have 3. All right. So I didn't get to use this one. That's okay. I'll use it another time. I'm going to just flip this over for a second, and we're going to lay it down and just make sure everything is looking good. And find my scissors. And now I'm just going to trim off. We're going to end up with the little bitty pieces trimmed off like that. And do both sides. And this is what I'm saying, if you want to cut every piece to be the same width as your base, then you won't have probably as much mess, but it worked. It was easy. And then I'm going to use my template that I've made. I've shown this to you guys. And we're going to just angle the top so it's a tag. And then I'm going to add some ink. And I have one of those. Okay, now this is what I was saying, is if you realize it's lifting up just a little, just come back in and put a dot of glue. The world won't end. There we go. But I don't know what I was saying. Oh, yeah, I have this punch. It's such a challenge to use, but I like it. It makes these little hole enforcers. But the reason it's such a challenge is I never know where it's going to chomp on my paper. Oh, gosh, I really wanted to use those flowers. Definitely going to have to make another one now, aren't I? Probably not on camera, but I will make another one. Let me pick, I need something that's going to be a nice contrast there. Maybe even like some green. So this is my challenge. I don't know where this is punching when I put it in. If anybody knows a secret to this thing, let me know. I'm just going to hope this is thick paper that I picked a good spot. This is actually quite thick cardstock, so it punches pretty well on a normal weight cardstock. Yeah, that'll be cute. So I'm just going to add some green, a green hole and reinforcer, and I'll use my crocodile to punch a hole. And it just kind of gives it that little bit of a finished look, or you can put an eyelet on, right? Or if you prefer, put like a brad or something fun on there. Let's see. Let me put that away. So anyway, they probably have a different style of these. It just makes me a little crazy sometimes. Oh, this is just sitting here when I was working with that strawberry paper. So guess what? It is going to be featured in one of my little, I wanted to see the strawberries in one of my little pockets. And I actually have a few pieces sitting here from when I was working on the other ones. The rest we'll have to pull out. But I kind of wanted to use this. Maybe I'll put that, but I'll wait. Let me see what else I'm going to put in. And okay, on these, this is a piece of my seam binding that I did in that brown. And then this is just a piece of sari silk. And maybe we will go with, let's go with this corally color because of that pink up there. That'll be pretty. Put a little ribbon topper on here. And I really think this would be, what a fun project, like if you were kind of, maybe you were watching a movie you've seen a bunch of times, or listening to a podcast or a book on tape, or I don't know, just where you just, it's kind of mindless, but you want to do something with your hands. You could tear a bunch of strips of paper and just have a whole lot of fun putting these together. I think, anyway, I think it would be fun. This is a sticker, actually. So let's pull out our doodads. and see what will look cute in here. These don't have the little corners cut, but I'm thinking this ticket will look cute. So I don't know what's gotten into peppers. I think part of it is we're finally having some nicer weather, and so a lot of people are out walking, lots of families with strollers, those types of things. And I think I wanted to see that flowers is where I was going with this. And you kind of have to play to find which one is a little deeper. All right, we'll just put it there for now. Anyway, and so I really think that's what's going on, is there's just a lot more activity on our street. And so my pups are saying hello to the whole neighborhood. They think they have to guard the neighborhood, which is fun, but sometimes annoying, right? And I'm going to, this is just, you know, to kind of dress them up. But because they're removable, you could just make these up, and then when you put them in a journal, put some of your bits and pieces or things that you might want to decorate pages with later, that kind of thing. That would be super fun. I was mentioning in another video recently, I haven't used my Cricut in a while. I can tell Cricut cut that and not Pam. All right, here we go. And this one says smile often. Let's put it in here. Yeah, there we go. I think it's cute and I love it. I'm trying to decide if I even want to put that on. I don't think I do. I'll save it yet again for another project. All right, these little pieces I'll get put up. Okay, so a super duper easy scrap buster, but boy, are these cute. They're gonna look great in any vintagey, junky kind of journal. And I just love them. I do. I love them. So I hope you do too. Let me know if you're going to make them. Give the video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Have fun. Use up your scraps. Thanks, guys. Until next time.